Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing? It is so good to talk to you. I miss you guys so much. This is really weird for me talking to you on my phone like this. And, I have to tell you, I'm a little nervous doing this. This is not something that I'm used to. I'm always used to talking to people face to face, but we're really lucky that we have these machines and different types of new technology so that we can continue to communicate even though we can't see each other face to face. So today I am going to read you a couple of books. Actually, these are two of my favorite books. I know you've heard me say that before because I have a lot of favorite books, but these two are indeed, for the month of March, two of my favorites. So here is the first one. It is called If I Built a House. Look at those houses, boys and girls. Aren't those the coolest things? I particularly like this one. Even though I don't like roller coasters, I think this is a pretty cool looking house. All right, let's see. I built a house. Jack, in the backyard, said to his mother, "This house is okay, but it's like any other. It's boxy and boring and basically bland. It's nothing at all like the house I have planned. My house will be different. It can't be the norm. I'll think about traffic flow, function, and form. Oh, it may include shapes like a tower or dome, but I'll focus on what makes a building a home. It's the rooms on the inside that make it unique, so step to the door and let's take a peek." Now look at this cool house here he's built with. He's used some cardboard, Legos, Tinker Toys, Legos. No, these aren't Legos. I forgot what those are called. Well, we'll start with the basics right off the bat. Check out my all-in-one kitchen nomad. You don't have to cook and you don't have to clean. It's done by a space-age robotic machine. It makes all the meals and the food is delish. Then it washes and puts away every last dish. The living room's next. It's fun. Come on in. The chairs and the table and sofa all spin, and trampolines lead to a giant ball pit. It's a pretty neat room, you have to admit. Now look in the bathroom. No shower, no tub. Instead, take a ride on my scrub-a-dub-dub. Just step on the belt and it washes you clean, even the places that you've never seen. And here is my bedroom way up in the sky, on top of a tower 200 feet high. With glass all around, just check out the view. A bed in a tower, now that's something new. The rooms we walked through just moments before are the kinds that you'll find in any decor. But if I built a house, I'd add a few more. So hop on the slide, it's time to explore. You know how I constantly like to create? Well, this is my art room. Isn't it great? You draw on the wall. Don't worry, it's cool. Hung way up high on a big giant spool is a huge roll of paper that hangs to the floor. Just draw till you're done, then pull down some more. Next comes my flying room. See how it's tall? It's empty except for a switch on the wall. Just turn off the switch and you'll float on the ground. Then flap like a bird and fly all around. Isn't it nice to be up in the air? A room without gravity. That's pretty rare. This is my racetrack room. Step right inside. It's less like a room and more like a ride. It features a racetrack that loops all around with super fast go-karts that don't make a sound. You fly and you flip and you zip and you zoom. You have to admit, it's a wonderful room. A room filled with water, now that's something new. But if I built a house, it's just what I do. This is my fish tank room. Ain't it a sight? Don't worry, they're friendly. The critters won't bite. Just strap on the air mask to swim with the fishes. Now this is a room that every kid wishes. Of course, I've been saving the best room for last, and literally speaking, this room is a blast. So, welcome, sit down, I'll seal up the hatches. This plexiglass playroom completely detaches. You fly it around, why, it even has jets. For me, this room is as good as it gets. My house will be nifty, my house will be neat, my house will stand out as the best on the street. Daringly bold, yet exquisitely fine, a must-see example of modern design. My house will be hailed as refreshingly new. If I built a house, that's just what I do. And that is the end. Now, what kind of house would you boys and girls build? I bet it would be super, super cool. You know, you guys can go out and get some cardboard and some crayons and some paint and build away anything you want. And before you do that, you may want to come up with a plan. You know, what architects do is they develop a drawing that then they give to the contractors, and then the contractors build the house. It's a really neat experience, and it's something that I always kind of wanted to do. So give it a shot. We'll see. All right, so the next book we're going to read is called Iggy Peck, the Architect. Okay, so now remember, this is the person that designs all of the houses that are built. Oh, and look at this paper. This is a really special paper. This is called graph paper. This is something that the architects can use to help scale their designs. Oh, and look at all of these tools here. We have, what do we see here? We have pencils, we have rulers, and rulers in all different shapes, in all different materials, and a crane holding a pencil. All right, here we go. Young Iggy Peck is an architect and has been since he was 2, when he built a great tower in only an hour with nothing but diapers and glue. Good gracious, Ignatius, his mother exclaimed. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. But her smile faded as fast as a light wind blew past. She realized those diapers weren't clean. Ignatius, my son, what on earth have you done? That's disgusting and nasty. It stinks! But Iggy was gone. He was out on the lawn using dirt clods to build a great sphinx. When Iggy was 3, his parents could see his unusual passion would stay. He built churches and chapels from peaches and apples, and temples from modeling clay. Those are pretty neat materials you can use. At dinner one night, to his father's delight, Iggy got a bright gleam in his eye, and out on the porch built the St. Louis Arch from pancakes and coconut pie. Dear Ig had it made until 2nd grade, when his teacher, Miss Lily Gear, on the very first day, she had this to say, "We do not talk of buildings in here. Gothic or Romanesque, I couldn't care less about buildings, ancient or new." She said in her lecture about architecture that it had no place in grade 2. Well, that might seem severe, but she was sincere. For when she was no more than 7, she had a great fright at a dizzying height in a building so tall it scraped heaven. On an architect's tour of the 95th floor, young Lila got lost from the group. She was found 2 days later in a stuck elevator eating cheese with a French circus troupe. After that day, it's quite safe to say she thought all building lovers were nuts. As a teacher, she taught that, above all, one ought to avoid them. No ifs, ands, or buts. As you might guess, it would cause Iggy stress to hear such terrible talk. But he didn't hear. He sat in the rear while building a castle of chalk. "You, Iggy Peck, your desk is a wreck. tear down that castle right now. You will not build in here. Is that perfectly clear? Do you need to see Principal Ho? No, ma'am, Iggy said. He lowered his head, and his heart sank down to the floor. With no chance to build, his interest was killed. Now second grade was a bore. After 12 long days that passed in a haze of reading, writing, and arithmetic, Miss Gear took the class to Blue River Pass for a hike and an old-fashioned picnic. They crossed an old trestle to a small island nestled in the heart of a burbling stream. But they no sooner passed than the footbridge collapsed and Miss Lila Gear started to scream, "We're trapped here! Oh my! Alas, kids, goodbye!" Her eyeballs rolled back in her head. She dropped to the ground with a vague groaning sound, luckily fainted, not dead. The class was amazed. They stood there quite dazed, uncertain of what they should do. But one bright young man was off hatching a plan which started with Miss Lila's shoe. Soon each lad and lass there at Blue River Pass was working together as one. And when she came to, Miss Lila Greer knew that something quite brave had been done. She looked in the air and saw hanging there a structure with cables and braces. And on the far side, beaming with pride, were 17 smiling young faces. Boots, tree roots and string, fruit roll-ups and things, some of which one should not mention, were stretched ridge to ridge in a glorious bridge, dangling from shoestring suspension. It all became clear to Miss Lila Greer as she crossed that bridge over the stream. There are worse things to do when you're in grade 2 than to spend your time building a dream. Now every week at Blue River Creek Elementary in second grade, all the school kids can hear, along with Miss Greer, how the world's greatest buildings were made. The weekly guest speaker in t-shirt and sneakers talks of buildings from Rome to Quebec. Of course, he's the guy who builds towers from pie, that brilliant young man, Iggy Peck. And that is the end. I hope you enjoyed these stories today. I will be sending out more stories very soon. And until then, goodbye, friends. Goodbye.